Hi, hey everybody. Welcome to Acting from All Angles, our Facebook Live, sponsored by Actors in Action, where we empower the passionate actor with the craft and skill to have a serious acting career. We're gonna have a really cool little Facebook Live today. We've got a Facebook Live virgin with us. This is Erika.
I've never done this before.
She's never done Facebook Live. So let me introduce myself first to those of you who don't know me. My name is Julianne Lichty Stratton, and I am the creator of Actors in Action. Oh, we've got Christine here, professional actor training. And, every week we do this Facebook Live Acting from All Angles, and we have a special guest today. I'm really excited.
Thank you.
So Erika, we just were doing some self-taping. I was helping her tape an audition, and I was going to talk about cold reads. Christine says hello. I was going to talk about cold reads today. So I'm going to have Erika talk about that as well, but I really want her to talk about her process of this audition she just did. It was like 7 pages of copy, 3 scenes. It was very impressive. She got it last night at 7:30, and she just knocked it out of the park. She's amazing. So. No, it's true. It's true. So she works out of LA a lot. She's also in Vancouver as well, right?
Yeah.
And she happens to be here in Utah doing a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Lifetime. Yes. So anyway, so tell us, Erika. Tell us all about your process with this audition last night that you just knocked out of the park.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I guess when I get sides, no matter what they are, I try to figure out what the story is and get it up and on its feet. And then depending on what it has in it, if there's a lot of jargon, really getting it to roll off your tongue really helps me. Everybody has a different way of doing it, but I've had some really great teachers, and one of them was always like, pick it up and start doing the action that you're going to do and get it on its feet. He was really good about instilling that in the actors that he taught, and I find it really helps because a lot of the time when you, at least for me, go to add action into something, you tend to lose the words because you haven't put them together with the motion. And it may change on the day, of course, on set if you get the job, but for your audition, it's supposed to kind of be a finished piece. So I always want to get off book and not have my sides or anything like that. If it's a cold read, just trying to be like really be grounded and say your lines to the other person and wait for their reaction and then go back down and read the next line to come up. But for an audition where you have time to prepare, really get the hard parts that maybe your tongue sticks on or it has jargon to really roll off your tongue so that you sound like the authority in it, like your character would be. Those are kind of the 2 things for me that tend to really help, and just really running it a lot helps.
Cool. Yeah. So do you have a particular technique with memorization? Like, do you picture it? Do you read it over a bunch? Like, how do you?
It depends what the sides are. I think if it's kind of commercial, a lot of the time there's a story in it, and so I try to like outline the story. Once you know the story, you've got it. The same with sides. Sometimes I'll break them down into parts of the scenes and things like that. When you know the arc, it's always easier to keep the flow of it going for me. So that tends to help to like have a sense of the story. It sometimes is harder in a scene if there's a lot of switches or a lot of other characters coming in, but kind of knowing the arc that you're going to take and the emotional journey is really important to have that sort of mapped out, and that really helps with getting the lines down because you have a feel of where you're going to go.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you were talking about being off book for an audition. So here in Utah, generally we just go in with our sides and we hold them and we read them. And you were just saying, oh no, if that happened in LA, I would be drop kicked out here. So talk about a little bit about that.
Well, I think that it's easier to. I mean, I'm sure for some places, if you get the last minute, you have to take things in. But, you tend to be more in the audition if you're not holding the sides. At least for me, that's a personal thing, and I find that like in a lot of places, when they're expecting you to come in without your sides, so I think it gives you more confidence.
Sorry, they're saying they can't hear us. Go ahead.
So I think it gives you more confidence to be able to be off book, especially if you've got the time to learn it, and then you'll really feel like you're in the character. And if you're not, you get a couple words wrong, as long as you've got the energy of it. Of course, you want to be as word perfect as you can, but for for a lot of places they do want you to come in without at least certainly not reading from your slides.
Mhm.
If you do have them in your hand as a prop or something, sometimes that's great, but certainly not referring to them if you've had enough time with them to learn.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
like-
and it does make a huge difference. Like when you just walk
your
in,
performance, right? When
yeah,
you do it,
it's like you're really on set shooting something, but you're just doing an audition. So
Yeah.
so that's really great. Cool, awesome. Okay, so anything else we want to talk about? Anything else you want to say about your audition process?
I'm not. No, I mean, like really just getting like running the lines, getting it down, feeling about the character,
Mhm.
making minor adjustments, trying out different things before you go into either tape or into their audition room.
Mhm.
Running it with somebody always helps.
Mhm.
Instead, at Line Learner as well, really is really great.
The app,
Line
Line Learner.
yeah.
Mhm, there's a
So
great app.
those are really helpful to get, but it does help to run it with somebody live, I feel, as well, because you can really connect to them.
Mhm.
And it adds a little bit of something instead of having your first read in the room. Those are,
Mhm.
I think
Right.
kind of, I don't know when you do them, like, I don't know if there's something else that you sort of.
Well, I just try to figure out what I want from the scene and what
all
I'm trying
those
to get
things,
from that,
yeah,
all that
of
stuff.
course, yeah.
And then just like go in and try to just connect with the reader as much as I can.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll get a reader that can connect. And if I don't, then I just, wing it. So,
well, and also setting up your action. So if there's somebody else coming in the scene, knowing where the eye line is and walking them in, walking them out if they're leaving, those are sort of things that are nice to set up because it feels more like you're telling a story for the person watching, I feel.
Yeah, I think it makes it so much more clear when you're watching an audition as a casting person or anything else. If the actor is creating the environment for you, they make it a 3D environment, not just standing there and like saying their lines, because that just opens up the audition. We call that referencing in my school, like opening up and creating the world. And you do that by bringing somebody in and looking at them and placing them and that kind of stuff. So it just makes a huge difference when you do that. Yeah, that's great. So where did you study? I'm curious. I don't know. I don't know much about her. I've just been working with her and she's fabulous.
She's very sweet. Let me tape her. I did a degree in theater, so I started in theater in Canada, and then I took a lot of classes in doing audition classes and things like that because film was very different for me. So I took classes from a couple different coaches in Vancouver. Shay Hampton was one. She's wonderful. She doesn't do auditioning. She does a class. And Ty Olson was really great as well. He does an audition class. And I would take a workshop here or try something else, like see how I like motion capture and got to work in that or things like that. So do what you really love to do as well as the classes that are maybe more challenging. But I think sometimes training with if somebody comes in for a weekend, somebody new, you can maybe pick up little things and stuff like that. That always helps, and just kind of, getting into a system of working in the same way.
Yeah, I think having a system of some sort, something rock solid that you can just like rely on. This is my technique. This is my method. This is what I do. I think that really helps.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like for me, like really running lines on an app or something like that to drill them really helps because it frees your mind up
Right, you can't act if you don't know your lines. No. You just can't. Sorry. So
I know those aren't like new.
I know.
Tips,
but it's so funny.
Are...
I think so many of us actors just like sort of take memorization for granted, but it's really so vital.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't know how to do it, if you can't do it quickly, forget about it. You just can't do it. So, okay. Thank you. That's all we have to say today. Thank you, Christine and Taryn Turner. You were here. On this side, they've got Robin Wiggins Tal is here and Rachel Stratton Call, my sister-in-law. Hi. Great to see you. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really hope this was helpful. We're going to finish up here now, but next week I'm going to talk a little bit more about some specific tips to help you with your cold reads to get yourself off the page and really connected. So, okay. Thank you so much. Have a great one. We'll see you next week. Bye.